here we go for this month's comic book column. We are talking villains, super villains to be exact, and we're talking Spider-Man villains. And I know we can go through a whole list of Doc Ock, Norman Osborn, Kingpin, Mysterio. The point is, I know a lot of them. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but we're going to concentrate on my favorites this month. And if you guys want to add anything, remember to always hit me up in the email. I always feel like what makes a good comic book hero are the good bad guys, and having good nemesis to go up against. The first one for Spider-Man, as we dig deep in his, is Kraven the Hunter. Kraven is a world-class big game hunter who considers Spider-Man to be his equal when it comes to prey and hunting. Kraven's had numerous attempts where he's gone after Spider-Man. I'm going to talk about my favorite one. It's actually pretty current. It's from the Nick Spencer run that Spider-Man is currently doing, and this is the trade paperback version of it. Hope you guys can see all of it. This is a little bigger than a normal trade paperback, but this is a really good story with Kraven. I like the direction that Nick Spencer took it in. Kraven basically takes any animal-based supervillains or superheroes, traps them in Central Park, and has everybody duke it out. Obviously, Spider-Man's going to be a part of it, as are many of the Spider-Man villains over the years. It's a really outstanding tale that has a lot of really good recalls from Spider-Man comic books in the past, and a lot of villains that you might have forgot about, or little ones that you might not remember that well. It's just an all-in-all really good series. My personal favorite part involves Gibbon and the Vulture and a double cross with Spider-Man. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really definitely worth a read. And so far out of the Nick Spencer runs, it's my favorite volume in the trade paperbacks, which I think are up to 10 now. The next two villains, which are going to be the last two, I always have a tough time deciding which one's my favorite, so we're just going to go alphabetical order. I really want to talk about this one, Carnage, which I think you know who the next one is, which obviously he's Venom's son. Absolutely one of Spider-Man's best, if not the most powerful villain that Spider-Man takes on. I love pretty much everything that Carnage has done, every comic he's done. He's taken over entire cities. He has fought multiple superheroes across the Marvel Universe. And just to touch on a few of the really, really good ones, if you're interested in finding out about Spider-Man and Carnage and you like symbiotes, I would strongly suggest checking out Maximum Carnage. I think it's the essential reading for Carnage. We don't have to go too much into the details, but this is what really puts him on the scene as a supervillain who's going to take on Spider-Man. The next one we'll talk about is Deadpool versus Carnage. It's everything you'd expect from a Deadpool-led comic, with Carnage as the bad guy. These two characters are completely insane, both in different ways. Deadpool does it in such a funny, relatable way, I guess, and then Carnage is just kind of psychotic and makes a pretty interesting balance. We're going to get to the other Carnage comic book that I like, but we're going to first go over Venom and some of the tales that make him such a special Spider-Man bad guy. Venom didn't arrive on the scene till later in Spider-Man's history, but he quickly became one of, if not the most popular of Spider-Man's bad guys. He's had countless miniseries. He has done annuals. He has his own movie out, and in my opinion, he has the best series in Marvel Comics out right now, headlined by Donny Cates. I could speak about Donny Cates. I feel like I've mentioned him before in this column, but that's definitely a story you want to check out as the most recent Venom run right now. Another one I really like is Separation Anxiety, which starts to it involves Venom being turned, I guess, having kids, and the kids then end up attacking Spider-Man. But the spawns that come out of the issue end up being heavy players in the Marvel Universe. Scream is one that I mentioned, and it's really worth checking out. It's an early Venom comic, so it's a little different than the new runs, but still worth checking out. Lastly, the last one I wanted to get into, I actually have the Omnibus, and I'm super excited about it. Isla Comics hooked me up and got me the Absolute Carnage Omnibus, not for free, of course, but they got it for me. This is the absolute best comic series I think Marvel's done over the past at least 5 years. Donny Cates somehow takes all the symbiote stories and rolls them right into one, ties up any loose ends that's ever been going on in this genre or this part of the Marvel universe, and does a really good job. It has cameos from any Marvel character that you can think of. It has outstanding writing and stories, and it's totally worth it. It's originally a 5-part miniseries that spanned into different comic books, and it's $100. It's a little pricey, but it's one that, at least for me, I'm going to keep reading for years and years and years, and I'm really excited to see it all as one big omnibus. So my reading recommendations are going to be all Spider-Man villain related. So here we go. Number one, the Absolute Carnage Omnibus. I told you should check it out. We all went through it, and I think you guys would really enjoy it. The second one comes out this week. It actually came out yesterday, King in Black, which is going to tie into the Absolute Carnage Omnibus and then bring in the whole Null returning to Earth story. If you don't know, check it out. The third one is Deadpool vs. Carnage. I told you there's 2 series. Pick one, read both, enjoy, have fun. Number 4 is Venom Separation Anxiety, and 5 is Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. If you have any interest in Carnage, I highly suggest you start there. Go to Absolute Carnage, go to Deadpool vs. Carnage, enjoy it all, have fun. So that's going to be it for this month's comic book column. Get to reading, have fun, stay safe.
I found the lump in my left breast in my monthly exam. I totally trusted the team, and the level of care is exemplary.